Yenagoa. This is the Globe in View. Let's begin with the headlines. Bayelsa Deputy Governor cautions political class against over-ambition at 55. NNPC holds talks with oil producers to boost crude supply. House of Representatives passes fresh amendment to Electoral Act. U.S. launches new trade probe into major trading partners. Now the details of these and other stories. I am Barbie Mkparu. The Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Dr. Peter Akpe, has cautioned Nigeria's political class against excessive ambition to unhealthy competition in the pursuit of leadership positions. Dr. Akpe gave the advice during a special birthday Thanksgiving held in honor of his Province 1 headquarters of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Higher Ground Parish in Yenagoa, as part of activities marking his 55th birthday celebration. The Deputy Governor, who attended the service with his wife, Dr. Favor Akpe, and other family members, noted that ambition is natural. Excessive ambition can lead people into actions that are contrary to God's plan for them. He attributed his emergence as Deputy Governor to the grace and mercy of God and urged those in governance, church leadership, and families to remain steadfast in their faith and allow God to direct their paths. Special prayers were later offered for the Deputy Governor and his family by the senior pastor in charge of Region 27 of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Simon Folasayo. Goodwill messages were delivered by representatives of the Akpe family, the church at Egbedebiri community, and the Bayelsa State government. The event was attended by several top government officials, including Speaker of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Abraham Ngobere, the former Deputy Governor, Peremobue Ebebi, commissioners, members of clergy, as well as Deputy Governor's parents, His Royal Highness Chief Adagbabiri Akpe, the Amananwe of Ebedebiri, and Mrs. Esther Akpe. High Chief Nathan Egba Dengia has been confirmed as the acting Amayanabo of Okpoma Kingdom in Brass local government area of Bayelsa State. The confirmation followed an emergency Ibikobira General Assembly of the Kingdom held on Monday at Isele Polo in Okpoma. Speaking shortly after his confirmation, High Chief Egba Deniga said his one tenure as acting Amayanabo is in line with the mandate of the Bayelsa State High Court. He explained that his position also stems from his election as chairman of the Okpoma Kingdom Chiefs Council, which was later ratified by the Igbebubiria. The acting Amayanabo noted that during his tenure, priority would be given to youth employment and women's development, and called on people of Okpoma Kingdom to support efforts aimed at promoting peace and development in the community. In his remarks, the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, Ikoye Orutugu, an indigene of Okpoma Kingdom, warned individuals planning to cause unrest to disease or face the full wrath of the law, stressing his commitment to maintaining peace, law, and order. Other speakers at the gathering, including the Okpoma Kingdom Youth President, Engineer Seyefa Ben Basio, the Amayanabo of Agada Ama, His Royal Highness Paul Odikimiya, Deputy Chief Iprit Inogofoya Omubo, Elder Sidosi Emmanuel George, and Mrs. Inemo Day expressed gratitude for the peaceful outcome of the assembly and pledged support to the acting Amayanabo's leadership. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has begun high-level discussions with international oil companies and indigenous producers to increase crude oil production as supply dynamics in the domestic fuel markets continue to evolve. The move follows the growing influence of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, which has significantly reshaped Nigeria's fuel supply landscape and increased competition for crude feedstock. Sources familiar with the developments said the discussions are aimed at boosting crude availability for local refining and easing pressure on petrol prices. According to the sources, the National Oil Company recognizes the Dangote refinery as a strategic national asset and considers its optimal operation vital to Nigeria's energy security. They noted that within the framework of existing agreements, the company continues to facilitate crude supply to refineries despite temporary supply constraints. Meanwhile, Iran's military command has warned that global oil prices could surge to about $200 per barrel following attacks on 3 vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, heightening tensions in one of the world's most critical oil transit routes. The House of Representatives has passed a fresh amendment to the Electoral Act 2026, which was signed into law last month by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The amendment, which went through first and second readings, committee consideration, and third reading during plenary, introduces 3 new clauses to Section 77 of the Electoral Act dealing with membership of political parties. Under the proposed legislation, any individual found guilty of belonging to 2 political parties at the same time will face a fine of 10 million naira or maximum prison sentence of 2 years. The amendment also stipulates that offenders will lose their membership in both political parties. The United States government has launched a new trade investigation into excess industrial capacity across 16 major trading partners, a move aimed to rebuilding staff tariff pressure after a recent court decision weakened the country's tariff program. U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer said the investigation conducted under Section 3 and 1 of U.S. trade law could result in new tariffs being imposed by summer. Countries targeted in the probe include China, the European Union, India, Japan, South Korea, and Mexico. Other economies under review are Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Switzerland, and Norway. Greer explained that the investigation will focus on economics believed to have structural excess production capacity in various manufacturing sectors, often reflected in large and persistent trade surpluses or underutilized production facilities. Canada, the second largest trading partner of the United States, was not listed amongst the countries included in the investigation. Russia's foreign military has condemned a deadly Ukrainian strike on the western Russian city of Bryansk, describing the incident as a terrorist attack. In a statement, the ministry accused Britain of overstepping international legal norms, alleging that British-supplied missiles were used in carrying out the strike. The statement further claimed that the attack was intended to derail ongoing efforts toward a peace progress and escalate the conflict. Meanwhile, the governor of Bryansk region, Alexander Bogomaz, said 1 additional person had died from injuries sustained in the attack, bringing the death to 7. He earlier reported that 42 people were injured in Tuesday's strike, though details of the exact target were not disclosed. Ukrainian authorities said the strike was aimed at a key facility involved in producing missile components, while Russian officials accused Ukraine of deliberately targeting its civilians. And that concludes the news on this hour. Thank you for staying with us. This is Naija Live Television, and this has been Globe in View. My name is Barbie Mkparu. Do have an amazing day ahead. Stay glued with Naija Live Television, as we will be bringing you news updates today at News on Desk. Take care. Good morning.
Shout hallelujah.